Hey guys, happy holidays. I had a couple people that wanted to see how I kind of made the antlers, so I'm gonna make a video. So this is the bike right here. Let me get it up close. It's probably what I did. I went to Michael's, bought some supplies, and this is really the results from it. So this is actually, I don't know, it looks like a giraffe or something, but I like the detail to it, so that's why I chose this. And that's really it. So it took me about probably an hour to do this. It's very simple. I went to actually Joann's to try to buy this because it was really sold out everywhere. So I made a hole inside right here and I just kind of put a zip tie on it, zip tie it on the front. Very simple. So on this right here, I stuck it on with it's called some photo frame sticky pads. So I'm gonna open it up right here. You guys can see a little better. So I put this all over the mirror, and they're double-sided. And you just kind of just put it on there. I put it all over the place. I put them all around right over here, all the way around. You can almost see one right here, but just so it has some stickiness on the end. Put it all right here, and I did have a couple right over here. This type of plastic here wasn't attaching onto that sticky pad, so I'm glad I bought this wire, green wire, and it's a very strong wire that I found right there in Michael's. Just kind of wrapped it around, and I had some loose, some slack, I guess you could say, some slack, and I attached these right here. These were about $3 for a set of like 15, so they're on clearance. This right here was about $1 each little sheet, and this is about $5. This is the most expensive part, this wire, and I'm glad I got it because it's a really tough metal wire, and it really holds on very well. You saw in the video. You can see there, that one was my second one, so it was a little better right there. And that's really it. I mean, all I really did, I started off from here, from the starting here. I wrapped it around, and I had someone else help me, and I just cut on both sides, cut the slack, and make sure I stuck it onto the sticky pads, and then really wrapped it around. Once I had it up here, I just formed it right here with the sticky pads already on the mirror. Just let the fabric go on top of it, and then just cut around it. It looks like little antlers. Very simple. That was pretty simple as well. I mean, you can use a screwdriver or something sharp and just kind of poke inside the hole, and while it's still on there, you could throw the zip tie. That was a zip tie right here, and I just put it inside there. Pretty simple, and this is the end result of it right here. And you know, everything still looks functional. You still see the mirrors. It's perfectly fine, and I made sure I had some space so it doesn't hit my plastics. And I went about, I would say 95 on the freeway. I don't really go too fast. I mean, I had a consistent of 80 usually. I hit a 95 maybe a couple seconds, but nothing flew off. And then here's the helmet. So the helmet, it's a little simple too. This I was lucky enough to get this for about $35 costume, and it came with the hat. So I know Jason, he's from my group. He actually gave me some tips how to do it, and I know there's I think a video on YouTube where you can actually cut it. I guess buy two, cut it, and sew it together. But kind of seem to find another one that was the same fabric. Plus, I didn't want to spend a little more money. So what I did, I just kind of tried to cut it in half, or not really cut it in half. I just kept cutting it, and I kept putting on the helmet to see where it would fit pretty good. And very simple. I mean, I just really cut it where it seems at. And I used right here some Scotch tape right here, so there's no draft that goes inside the hat and make it come out. But inside is where I did a little more work. Let's take this off right now. This is just a test, really. I mean, that video that you saw was a test. Let me get this apart. Give me a second. And I made it a little higher over here because I wanted to make sure I still have visor. I think it can still go up. At least a little bit, which is good enough so it doesn't fog. You can go a little higher, but I didn't really open it up too much. So this is really what helps a lot right here from falling. Because that draft, if it goes under the hat, it'll definitely pull it. And Jason helped me out with that, gave me a tip on that. So you just subscribe to my channel right now too. So, let's take this apart. So really I kind of took off a couple pieces right here. So this, I bought this at Target, I think it was a couple bucks. Some 3M, I guess almost like the hard piece Velcro, so they actually just kind of go on together. And these are supposedly for photo frames as well. Can hold 16 pounds, I believe. And so what I did, I put it on the hat. On the helmet, it's a 3M, so it actually stays on there pretty well. But on the hat, since it's a fabric, it kind of does seem like it will come off, but not too much. So you can see I sewed it together, just very simple, just so it doesn't come off. And I had 4 pieces on it, so I had one kind of at the end, right over here, and one in the front, and like 2 on the other side. Very simple. Had that attached. I found that it was a little easier if you put it halfway on it and halfway on the fabric, because it's still very sticky and it actually holds onto the fabric pretty well. So you'll see right here, if I take it off, it still attaches to the fabric. So I put it halfway on there. So that's really simple, it's just really that, and I just put tape over it so it doesn't come off. And I was lucky enough for the beard, I had a chatterbox on there, and I just kind of wrapped it around it. It's very simple. But it just goes around like that. And I had a GoPro mount right there, so it just goes over that. And as you saw in the video, it was kind of coming off a little bit, but it wasn't much of a problem. We can probably just put another Velcro piece on there. That's really it. And that's the way I did it. Still looks pretty cool. And the hat still dangles around. And I think I do need to put another new piece of tape because I saw in the video that it had a little bit of draft on the left side. So it'll wrap it around a little better. And that's really it. And then you have the costume and your Santa and the red-nosed reindeer.